Episode 53, Face Your Fears. What's going on, everybody? I'm Sam.
I'm Dylan.
Thanks for coming back and checking it out. So Dylan, you asked me a couple of days ago, you came over and hung out. You said you saw a little YouTube poll.
Yeah, it was a poll.
What was it?
It was, would you rather be invisible for 24 hours or be given $1,000?
Invisible for 24 hours or be given $1,000.
So it's basically like, how much money do you think you could take?
Yeah, how much? Yeah.
Do you think you could steal more than $1,000 with one day of invisibility?
I think, because like being invisible is worth $1,000. Like if you said, would you take $10,000 or being invisible? I might take 10,000.
Yeah, I would for sure.
5,000, I don't know. Probably, but I don't know. You get it's kind of iffy through there. But being invisible, I mean, but what could stealing money, like you said? But what else would you be able to do being invisible? Like you couldn't really do much of anything. Like what would you get out of it? What could you, other than trying to go and steal money?
I don't know what else you could do.
You couldn't. You could just be like, "Hey, I'm invisible," and try and blow up real quick or something like that.
So what exactly would be invisible? Would you have to be naked the whole
24 hours
time?
though.
Would your clothes be invisible with you?
I think it'd be safe to say that like whatever mage or magician granted you this invisibility, whatever you're currently in at the time would be
too?
So like back to your stealing money thing, if you go in to steal this money, you're gonna get by everybody. You're invisible, but the money won't be invisible, right? Because if you touch it, it's not gonna turn invisible. Because in essence, you're touching anything you touch would be invisible.
Yeah.
So you just be walking this block of money.
Maybe you could just kind of like cover it up like this and.
Yeah, could you like lift your shirt up? Could you put it under your shirt and then it'll be invisible?
Maybe.
If you took an invisible layer, put it.
But what are the chances? Like you get to just like mosey into a vault.
Yeah, that's true. You'd have to be like, Dylan, I'm fucking invisible. I need you to go to the bank. I need you to come to open the vault.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some fucking money. I'll give you a little bit. All right.
But if you just pick the $1,000, you don't have to steal it.
Yeah,
someone just gives it to you.
You got $1,000, so you better steal more than $1,000.
Yeah.
And then, so this bodes another question here. What happens if they see that block of floating money and they're like, "Holy shit, motherfucker's invisible!" But just start spraying, and
people probably think it was ghosts.
Would they shoot at it? They'd probably still shoot at it though, just out of sheer panic. Just out of panic, just. What do we?
People see something they don't understand, they just start pulling in bullets.
Yeah, that's what the police do. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, and especially if they saw the block of money too, they'd be like, "Why is a ghost stealing money?" They'd be like, "Well, how the fuck is that money floating?" First off,
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Somebody's taking money out of a bank that's not theirs. It's stealing." So, but if you got shot, bullet hits you. Penetrates your invisibility skin. Does the bullet, when it enters you, does the bullet go invisible? And when your blood starts shooting out, is your blood shooting out invisible or does it become visible? Like
I'm hoping the blood is visible because that would make it even crazier.
just blood shooting out of this just random spot in space. Bullet sticks right there into the air and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And these red starts swelling up around it. That would be pretty creepy. They would probably then be like, "Ghost," and then everybody would take off, and you just get to hit the whole bank after that.
Nobody would see money floating though and think invisible person.
Well, no, definitely not. But what would you think? What would go through your mind if you're like, "It's fucking floating money"?
Wouldn't you just try to go grab
Chris
it?
Angel's around here somewhere. Where's David Blaine at?
Yeah, it's gotta be David Blaine.
Yeah, you probably walk over there and kind of maybe reach at it, and then you just kind of be like, give him a sack tap and take off. Yeah, you're gonna want to steal as much money as you can and hide it, hopefully.
Nothing else sounds like it'd be good to do. What else could you do if you're invisible?
You could. I don't know. If you were invisible, I guess you could strip butt naked and walk in public. That's the only thing you can do that you can't do. Yeah.
Have you ever seen those public bathrooms that they put, and it's like a two-way mirror? So on one side it's a mirror, and the other side you can see through it.
You can see out.
On
Yeah,
the inside.
Yeah.
That would be so.
They're like in the middle of like a really busy like walkway. There's a bunch of people everywhere.
Yeah. There's no way I'd do that.
I wouldn't be able to do that either. Because like, what if it malfunctions?
What do you mean malfunction?
It's like you press a button and it like it pegs up. You ever seen that?
I don't think so.
Is it like
You
constant?
press a button?
I've seen some where it's clear, like you can see into the bathroom. You go in, you close the door, and when you lock it, it goes and yeah,
Oh, shit.
yeah. So what if you went to lock it and it didn't go, but you didn't know, and so you go, all right, here we go. And you just plop one down real quick, like right here, and you're one of those people that shits with like your legs above your head or something.
I put my legs behind my head and just kind of
Or
balance.
you shit facing the other side of a toilet and you're just like resting, like looking at people walking
Does
by.
anybody do that? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
It seems like that might be kind of comfortable. You could rest your arms.
Well, there was a South Park thing that they did about that, and the whole it was hilarious, dude. The whole idea about it was, is that we're actually using the toilet wrong, and the ghost comes back of the dude that created the toilet, and he's like, they're like, there's somebody sitting on it like how we sit on it, and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, no, you're supposed to sit on it this way, and he sits on it. He's like, so you can eat your breakfast off of that, and then they're talking about and then he said, and you can, he said you sit this way, so you have to take your pants off, and you can put them in the laundry chute,
Yeah, that's what he
which
said.
he was referring to as a glory hole, and everybody's like, that's what that's for. It's hilarious, dude. South Park, it's great.
You'd have to take your pants completely off. Though,
Yeah,
every time.
definitely. Unless you had like a toilet that went straight into the ground and you could just like sit over the
Let's
top
make
of
a
it.
toilet designed for that. Like got
Just
like a
like
little
a-
space for your legs, and it's got like some nice little armrest things, maybe a little pad on it,
Dude, that honestly wouldn't be that hard, I feel
maybe
like.
a little like stand for your phone just to set it on.
You could just get a little hole, not like a hole, but like you can make a toilet with everything but the back and somehow get the water to filter up through the bottom, come in and just run out the sides like it does and just rush down. It comes up, rushes down, comes through the sides, around this pipe or whatever, then rushes down into the sewage pipe and just runs back down into the ground. And you could set up your thing right here. You could pull down your little desks.
We need to make it more comfortable too. Toilets aren't that comfortable.
Yeah. It could be a swivel chair. You could sit in it.
The ball swivels.
Lean back, yeah. Ball fucking swivels. That would be amazing. We can make ergonomic ones where you could raise it and stand if you needed to. You could
Wait,
push
what?
it-
What'd you
No,
just
you could do a standing shit. They have ergonomic desks where you stand at your desk.
Yeah,
You can't stand shitting, I don't think. Can you stand and shit?
I bet you can.
Is that
Yeah.
possible?
I'm sure you can.
Can you? I gotta tell this. Oh, I mean, I guess you probably could.
No, you definitely can.
Have you done it?
You definitely
Trust
can.
me.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that shit themselves standing up. Don't you think?
Oh well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that makes sense. But like, you probably couldn't squeeze out like a turd. It's probably like
No, it'd be
splattering diarrhea all over the walls.
yeah. That
What were we even talking about? What the fuck were you even talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Swivel shitter. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually a pretty good idea, honestly.
We gotta get a patent for our listeners to take it.
You'd have to. I know. We're deleting this episode. This is too bad. This is valuable information right here. This is the episode. The subscription starts.
That's what we need though, is create something that everybody needs. Everybody has a toilet.
You just gotta find a common problem and fix it.
Well, that's the common problem with toilets. You can't sit on them backwards and
You
swivel.
can't sit on them naked and eat your breakfast. Dude, that would be cool. Back to the I wanted to we talked about some visibility thing a little bit the other night, and there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh.
Whenever I mentioned like if you were invisible and like you wouldn't be able to turn the money invisible because if you touched it, it wouldn't just be invisible.
Right.
Well, if that were the case, like anything you touched turned invisible. Like in essence, like if you were to reach down or even you're just invisible already standing on the earth, what if the whole earth just went invisible at the same time? Everything connected to it's invisible, so everything just goes invisible, literally.
Well, if everything was invisible,
Gone.
then would anything be invisible?
Everything on the earth. So the whole earth would be just gone.
But it would still be there, it'd just be invisible. You just wouldn't be able to
Yeah, you'd just be like standing there and you'd be looking, you would just see directly into space, just every which way you looked. But
So,
you would
okay,
be kind of, essentially you'd just be this entity of consciousness just sitting there floating
If you're
in
invisible,
space.
can you see yourself? Can you see your body? Can you see your own body?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because if everyone was invisible, then and they could see their own body, then you could probably see
You
other
would
invisible
be able to
people
see
too.
them too. Every time I feel like you've seen somebody invisible in something, they can't see themselves. Right? Anytime like a movie, I feel like, right?
I don't know.
They look down and they can't see themselves.
Harry Potter has a cloak, and he's like just under the cloak. He can see himself. You just can't if you're outside.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be a good question. If you could, then the invisibility would be pointless because if everybody became invisible and you could see, but if it didn't and you're just floating around looking around, that would be terrifying. That'd be equally as pointless.
That would be more terrifying for sure if you just couldn't see anything and you were just there. You could just see, but there's nothing there.
What would you do? What would be the first course of action? I would probably move till I died. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
I would probably move. I would say you wouldn't move at all.
I just feel like it would be like
You'd still be able to feel stuff, right? So if we bumped into
yeah. But it would be terrifying. Just like
I'd be trying to find people.
I'd probably like go
I'd
to
be
stand
touching
up
everything.
and like fall or something because there'd still be gravity and everything. I wouldn't know what to do. It'd be terrible. It'd be awful.
I bet you could figure it out though.
You would. I mean, either that or you just bump around.
Blind people figure it out.
Yeah, you're right. They do. That is true. Blind people do figure it out. I wonder if we could do like some echolocation or something. See how close we are to objects.
We could probably figure something out like that over time.
Have to get real good at it or we die.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy though. The whole world went invisible. Dude, can you believe that, speaking of not the whole world, but the United States, 42% of us are obese or morbidly obese? Do you know that?
So what exactly does that mean? Like,
So 31 or 32 BMI, body mass index or greater, something like that.
so
I think it's a 32.
What an example of that would be? I wonder where we are.
That would be, here, I can look it up real quick. I'll just look up the BMI thing. But that's what Dr. Sanjay Gupta, he was on Joe Rogan. He's the CNN doctor guy. He said 42% of the United States is obese or morbidly obese. And I believe, let me check real quick. Okay.
So that'd be in the red or the orange?
Orange. So if you are 6 foot and...
Is this for guys or?
Oh shit, you're right. That's a good question. Which gender is this for? Which genre is this? I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't say.
So growing up, I've always been about like
Let me type
this
in
size,
male.
basically.
Yeah.
Just like relative, like smaller, or bigger, depending on the time. And my BMI has always been like borderline. I think, like I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I've always been over too.
So
It's always been higher. It's because it bases height and just height and weight, not like muscle mass or anything like that. So like if you have, because muscle's heavier than fat.
I've always been not that tall, but heavier.
Yeah, muscle's heavier than fat too. So the more muscle you have, the heavier you're going to be, which is going to put you higher up on the BMI chart. It's not giving me a male or a female one here. I'm just going to fucking read you this off and assume it's a male. 6 foot at 100. How the fuck do you read this?
It's a like, so you gotta go.
Is that an
from
age?
Both. You gotta go from both. No. What do you mean age? What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, never mind. Hold on. Look, 6 foot. Come down here. Oh shit. If you're 6 foot and you weigh, no, if you're 5'1" and you weigh 160,
5'1", 160.
you're overweight. So if you're 6 foot and you weigh, no, it doesn't go up that high. If you're 5'10" and you weigh 210, you're obese. If you're 5'10" and you weigh 175, you're overweight. So that's not reasonable at all.
See, that's like Brett's size.
Yeah, Brett weighs more than 175, I think, and he's
Really?
5'10". Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he almost weighs as much as I do. Pisses me off, dude. But it's crazy to me that
So that's a ridiculous chart, though.
yeah. It's the better thing to look at is going to be the body composition chart, and that's like fat versus
Yeah.
muscle versus bone and shit. It's all right. We can just start it. Yeah, we'll just start it from here.
I don't know when that stopped recording. Sorry.
Let me see.
It never beeped.
Is it going?
Yeah, it's going now.
Did it even record anything?
Yeah, it
Did
started
it?
recording.
Oh, okay, well, we're going to pick up from wherever. You can go listen to the cutoff areas, but
Sorry.
fuck it. But
Maybe we could just put the audio in somehow.
on the video
Yeah.
on YouTube, might be able to.
Can you save this audio somehow? We can try it after.
Yeah, I might be able to. Oh well, but yeah, BMI's fucked. They took our nuggets away. Michelle Obama.
Yeah, it's shitty, and it wasn't because of what we were eating at lunch. That wasn't why people were. That wasn't why kids were fat.
It's honestly because it's cheaper to eat shitty than it is
What's ridiculous
be healthy.
is a lot of kids that are super poor only ate at school.
Yeah,
So then they took less food away from. They gave the people who only ate at school less food. That's,
So
that's
and
fucked.
they're eating less now.
That's super fucked.
Yeah.
And then the people who are fat are the ones that are eating outside of school.
Yeah.
And
The
so,
ones that bring their fucking lunch to school and
Yeah.
have it all like fucking made and shit. Have a gourmet sandwich.
that shit's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ass backwards.
It is, and it sucks dick because it's fucking cheaper to be unhealthy than it is to be healthy. Until that changes, it's gonna be.
Yeah, that is really shitty.
Until that changes, there's gonna be no like incentive for people to be healthy because, unfortunately, living longer and having like a better
Quality of life.
better quality of life is not incentive enough, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You would think. I mean, then again, if you haven't been in that, like if you haven't been healthy before, you don't really know how good it could be. So
You don't know any different?
you don't know anything else. Which,
They have to understand.
I don't know. You'd think, you'd hope, but I don't know.
You know that's hard. I see people walking,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can tell you're struggling walking.
A lot of people use it as an excuse though, like disability and shit. People get disability just because they're fat and can't walk. That's what I hate, dude. Pisses me off. And they might have like obtained some other disability, like some sort of heart problem, because they're fat, and now they can't walk or some shit like that. But it all stems from being obese or morbidly obese, which sucks dick.
Some people do get fucked though. Take like medicine or something that makes them.
Yeah.
That kind of fuck shit.
That does happen, but not 42% of the population.
No, that's not most people.
All right, I'm going to put you on something else. We're going to switch topic here, Dylan. Beethoven. Been listening to him for some reason. Don't know why. You know any Beethoven?
Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, isn't that something?
It's the most popular one.
Really?
And I
Dun,
bet,
dun, dun, dun.
bet that
Is that
motherfucker
one?
pulled pussy, dude. No, that's actually, wait, yeah, that is. Okay. But I bet he pulled pussy, dude. Did you know that some of the music, whenever he released it, some kids weren't allowed to go listen to it? It was kind of like an R-rated movie right now. Like you had to be a certain age to go listen to the music.
What?
Yeah, because they thought that it made like kids feel a certain way or something like that. Some of it's so like
Like some Footloose kind of shit.
kids go in there and just start fucking and
Kids
stuff.
might start dancing, then they're gonna start drinking, then they're gonna start fucking.
No, I don't remember exactly why. It was like they made them like sad or something, or they weren't like mentally developed enough to hear that kind of music or some shit like that. But there used to be an age limit on the music and stuff. But so this motherfucker Beethoven starts going blind when he's like 26. They're not exactly sure why. It's like some sort of syphilis or some sort of infection or some other disease. There's a theory that at one point in time he was writing some music. He got up to meet somebody at the door or something, tripped, fell, and hit his head. It's like wrote down in records that they've had somewhere, and ever since then, he noted he couldn't really hear as well and stuff like that. Did I say blind?
Yeah,
He's deaf. He's deaf, not blind. He's deaf. He's going deaf from some sort of unknown cause. He's going deaf.
Probably because he's playing a loud ass organ all the time.
Well,
His
that
whole
might be
life.
it too. The always being around that shit. But so he starts to gradually go blind from like 26 until
Yeah.
he's like, gosh damn it! Why do I keep saying blind? I want him to be blind so bad. But I'm gonna go flip the slide on. But so he starts going deaf from the time he's like 26, and so he's still writing music and stuff because he loves it. And he writes this Fifth Symphony partially deaf. And let me play you just the first few seconds of it here because you'll be like, oh, Fifth Symphony. It's the one you just said. It's the da 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 da. But I'm gonna play it because I want to play it. Motherfuckers in the crowd like, ah! So that's the Fifth Symphony, which is the most popular one. And then so he's still writing music. He's gradually going deaf. He gets to his Ninth Symphony. He writes the entire Ninth Symphony completely deaf. So he's just remembering these sounds that he has known from the past and other music that he's written, other music that he's wrote. And he puts this shit together and he writes the Ninth Symphony. And I'll play you a little bit of it real quick. And then I gotta tell you a story about it. Shit! This is the part you're gonna recognize from it right here.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's louder than I need. Hey! Quit barking. Ninth Symphony. Wrote that whole thing deaf. The whole thing. Da, 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 da. I think it's called like Ode to Joy also. Isn't that something? Anyway, wrote the whole thing deaf. And so the premiere of this Ninth Symphony, after he wrote it, he wanted to conduct it. He wanted to be the one in front of the orchestra, obviously, because he wrote it. But he's completely deaf, and so they knew that he would be off a little bit. And there's a whole crowd of people back here watching him. They wanted to put on a show, so they have another conductor up there doing it also. And Beethoven's like, all right, whatever. So he goes to turn around to conduct the orchestra. The other conductor that can hear announces to everybody, everybody, please watch me. Mr. Beethoven here is deaf. He will be off a little bit. He doesn't realize it. And so they conduct the whole thing. And he, once they're done, he's like looking at all the members and stuff. And he's like, good job, Beethoven is. And the crowd's going fucking bananas behind him. Like Kanye just dropped Yay. They're going wild behind him. And the other conductor comes over here to him and he's like, Beethoven, you turn around, you take a look. He turns around, he like sees all these people. You can't hear him at all. I watched a little graphic about this of him like turning around and looking, and just there's people like and it's just like muffled hearing. He's just like looking, and a little tear goes down his eye. It's honestly beautiful, and it's so sad, dude, because the greatest musician of like literally human history, and you can't even hear the own music that he makes.
So ironic.
That's crazy. Very ironic. He didn't join the 27 Club though. He wasn't in the 27 Club.
How old was he?
He died when he was like 60 something. So he did pretty good. Pretty good for himself.
So did he know sign language back then, or did he just get on?
I think
writing shit down.
He did a lot of writing out stuff. But after a while, I think it kind of got to where he just got tired of doing that and just stopped communicating with people. When he started going deaf, he stopped going out and doing stuff. Like, kind of became really, what's the word?
Isolated.
Isolated. Perfect word. Yeah, he became he isolated himself from people. Just kept writing that music, going deaf. Insane, dude. Insane. So
I wonder
sad.
if there's any other major ironic things like that.
Painter went blind. Remember that? Michelangelo?
Oh, he went blind, really?
I think it was the Sistine Chapel or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember they had from the paint coming down and dripping in his eyes?
Oh, were they probably using like lead paint back then or something?
Yeah. Went blind by the end of it.
Damn.
That's the only one I know of.
He went blind by the end of painting the Sistine Chapel?
The roof of the ceiling of it, yeah.
That's fucking...
Never paint anything again. I don't think. At least probably not well.
I wonder how much that's worth.
Oh, you probably couldn't buy it.
No, you can't. But I wonder how much it's worth.
Definitely
has a value.
In essence, well, it's true.
Especially if that's the last thing he ever painted.
And it's like the whole. Have you seen a picture of it?
I'm sure.
Well, you're gonna see another one. I hope it's the fucking Sistine Chapel too. If it's not, I'm gonna sound like a bitch. How do you spell Michelangelo? Michael and Davey, quit barking. Michelangelo. Yeah, it's a Sistine Chapel. Here it is, right here. I painted this whole thing.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. There's so much going on.
Painted all that.
So much shit. I wonder how long that took him.
Probably took him forever. I'm gonna Google it.
I can't imagine just like walking into a room like that and seeing something that big and going, yeah, I'm gonna put some babies doing this over here. I'm gonna put a little woman doing this over here and a few guys over here. Like,
dude, we went
how
on
do you plan that?
We went on a trip to. Took him 4 years.
Wow.
To paint the whole thing. We went on a trip to East Coast, I guess. Went to a bunch of these old houses and stuff, like Thomas Jefferson, George Washington and shit. It was like painted like that. Everything was like painted and shit. There's like marble and stuff in the walls, and there's like all these old paintings and stuff everywhere, and it looked like kind of like that Sistine Chapel and shit did, and it was fucking crazy. It's insane. So pretty, and like thinking about it, like that doesn't happen anymore. You don't do that shit anymore. Nobody paints like crazily like that.
There's still murals. People paint on the outside of buildings. But
Yeah.
not on the inside.
People don't really paint like that though anymore either. They don't
Yeah, they paint different stuff.
paint. What did they paint like gods and stuff? They painted Greek mythology.
Probably like saints and things like
Yeah.
that.
Why are you so angry right now? She's so pressed about the people outside. Like, let them live their life. Come on.
It's chill, Daisy. We're fine.
They're good neighbors. They really are. She's like, no, they're not. You don't see what they do when you're gone. Daisy, chill out. Dylan, you ready to fucking end this one?
Yeah, I wonder how
Half
long
of it's
it is.
fucking cut off. 26 minutes though on the Spotify one. So,
At least 11 minutes.
Yeah,
on this one,
yeah.
So we'll see.
all right. Well, I apologize for the cutting off of the video. Dylan apologizes too.
Don't apologize for me. Fuck all of you. Maybe some way we can put the audio in and just like leave a blank screen.
Yeah,
with the audio.
we'll see what we can do. And if
I doubt we can do that.
yeah,
to
if
be
it's only
honest.
like 15 minutes, then we obviously didn't do it. So, but thanks for watching the spliced video. I appreciate that. Be a little shorter though, so you might have to listen to all the bullshit we say. Subscribe to the channel. I got a subscriber last week, so that's cool.
Oh, nice.
I don't know who it was, but got a subscriber. So thanks to whoever you are that subscribed. I love you. Be sure to like the videos. Not really getting any likes, but not really getting any views either, so that's okay.
Makes sense. It checks out.
It's adding up. Everything looks good here. If you're listening on Spotify, appreciate that shit. Getting a few listeners every week, so that's cool. Thanks for coming back. And if you're new, come back and don't be new. Don't be a stranger. Hit me up. What's going on? We'll see you next week for episode 54.
Peace out.